Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we have come back out here. We are in the field to do some more wildlife photography on this crazy morning. As you can see, it's sunny. Well, the sun's coming in and out, and it's also raining. There's kind of a light drizzle in the air, so it's weird weather for wildlife photography. I've got to hide the equipment beneath my coat because I don't want the camera getting wet, but then it's also sunny, so I'm having to squint against the sun. It's like all weathers put into one. Either way, we're going to go out and take some awesome photos. Now, for our wildlife photography today, I am using the Canon 250D and the Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. And before we start the wildlife photography today, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to respond to one of your comments. MB, you asked, I bought this camera last year and it's great. If you use it with very good lenses, it's even better. What lenses do you use with it? Well, I agree with you for starters. It's an amazing camera. For an enthusiast level, you can definitely go professional. I've used it on professional jobs. And to answer your question on what lenses I use with it, today is a perfect example because I'm using the Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. This is my main wildlife lens. Now, I often pair it with my Canon 7D Mark II, but it works very well with this camera as well. And the fact that this is a very small camera, it evens out the extreme weight of the Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. It makes them a perfect match. So today we're going to go out with the Canon 250D and the Sigma 150 on this kind of weirdly sunny and rainy morning and see what we can get. And just one more thing before we start the video, I'm going to give you a warning. The Canon 250D is not waterproof, and the Sigma 150 to 600 is resistant, but it's not advised in heavy rain. So I am taking them out with caution, and if you're going to do the same, if you do go out with this equipment in the rain, make sure you're careful, you have caution, you don't get it too wet, keep it dry as much as you can. So with that being said, I think we can finally get on to the wildlife photography. Now I found this nice little area. Here there's a ditch in front of me with water running down it. So I've kind of got a stream, I'm not sure if you can see it down there. And then behind me is just trees. The path is about 4 meters behind me, so I've kind of come off the path a bit. I'm kind of hidden, and then in front of me I've got open space. It's like a golf course. It's not really a part of the golf course they play on, it's just an area where they dump some things, so it's not the most attractive, but it attracts lots of wildlife. There were some crows there earlier, but since I've come, there's been nothing. We've had a few pedestrians walk by with dogs, they kind of scare away the wildlife, so I'm going to stay here a little bit longer, but I don't have the most hope. Hopefully something will show up, but we'll just wait and see. And the sun has gone. It's now just cloudy and gloomy, which we knew would be the case because it is forecast to rain, but it means that the lighting for this photography has gone to pits. So hopefully we can still get some good photos. We need the wildlife out in the open. You see here, I've got the canal, it's nice and bright. On the other side of me, I've got foresty area and it's very dark. So we've got two very contrasting environments and they need to be out by the water where it's brighter. Unfortunately, most of the birds are in the dark areas and the rain has begun. I've zipped up my coat. I hope it won't last long. You can probably see on the water behind me there's lots of water droplets falling from the sky, and it's not ideal for wildlife photography, especially with this equipment. As I say, this equipment is not designed for the rain. I'm doing this with caution. I have it under waterproof, so it's okay, and you can do the same, but you do have to do it with caution as the equipment isn't designed for heavy, wet weather. There is one good thing about the rain though. It keeps people away. Now, people definitely disturb the wildlife, and the less people there are out here, the better. I am out here, obviously. I'm pretty much the only person. I've seen like 2 other people. There were some more earlier, but since coming onto the canal, there's a lot less people, and that's ideal for wildlife photography because 1, it's quieter. 2, you don't have to keep stopping as they go by or scare the wildlife on their bikes or dogs. Very annoying, and so it's nice to have a bit of peace and quiet. And secondly, it's a different situation. Lots of wildlife photos are taken in broad daylight, in the bright sun, everything's well lit and it's beautiful, but you know what? Out here in the rain, it's a whole other perspective that lots of people just don't see. So hopefully we can get some cool photos showing that perspective and we're not just going to get wet. Now you can see in this tree behind me, there is a hole just about here. And this hole, I could hear some tapping from it. And I was like, there's something in that hole, and it's too late for chicks. So I knew it wouldn't be chicks or anything. But there was this tapping, kind of drilling, and I was like, it's kind of like a woodpecker, but it's a bit soft. Anyway, I kind of stopped, stood and watched it for a bit, and then a little head popped out. A female woodpecker came out of the hole and flew across the neighbouring tree. Here you can see me taking the photos. I'm loving this first person perspective. Comment down below if you're loving it too. I'm using the new DJI Action 2 to get all of this footage and to vlog. So here are the woodpecker photos. We're at the farm, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that this is our last destination. So I've been walking around a bit, haven't found much, but the sun has come out. The sun's come out to welcome us goodbye, and there's some linnets flying around. You see, I've got all of this corn behind me, and on the other side of me, we're surrounded by crops, which is good for these small birds. It's just, there is a vast amount of these crops, and so it's difficult because the birds hide in the middle. They never come to the edge. I do have the 600mm to zoom in, so we're going to see what we can do, and we're going to see if we get any small birds. Here. That's kind of the long and short of it. And we haven't seen any more birds or wildlife in general, so there aren't any more photos. But today we've gone out and we've explored the area. We've got some good photos in tricky conditions because we've had gloomy weather, it's been raining, the sun's popped out occasionally, but it's gone away now. I feel like it's gonna rain because it is forecast to rain this afternoon, and we've got some photos. We got a good photo of a robin, we got photos of ducks, we got a photo of a crow, we've got some decent photos considering the weather, and more importantly, we've come out here in nature, we've had some fun, we've done some exploring, we've seen the outdoors, and we've got some good photos. So I'm going to call the video here. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below and I will try and answer them in an upcoming video. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one.